I'm up here on the shores of Lake Superior, and you might be able to hear her crashing in the background because it's a pretty windy day on the lake. For the last 6 years, my husband and I come up here to celebrate the summer solstice. We love camping and hiking, and last year when we were sitting around the fire, we were brainstorming about ways that we could encourage ourselves to go hiking and camping more, because where we live in the Midwest, there's often bugs in the summer, and then during the off season in the spring and the fall, sometimes it's really cold in the mornings. So one idea that we came up with was to buy a tiny camper trailer. We thought having a trailer would help encourage us to camp on the off season when a lot of times the campgrounds are a lot less crowded, but it can be a little chilly in the Midwest. We thought it would be a good idea to try camping with a small travel trailer first before we decided to purchase one. So we had already had a trip booked in September to the Olympic National Park in Washington. So I looked online and I actually found a company in Seattle that rented out tiny little fiberglass trailers. So we booked one for a week and then took it around the Olympic Peninsula. We actually had a lot of fun with it and we really loved it. We had a rainy morning where we were able to just read and relax and make our coffee and tea in the trailer. Also there, it was pretty chilly in the mornings in September, so the one that we rented had a little heater so we could fire it up for a few minutes in the morning and in the evening and get nice and cozy and warm. At the end of the trip, we were convinced, yes, we should totally get a tiny travel trailer. Over the winter, we looked at the different options for small travel trailers and decided that we wanted a molded fiberglass trailer because they're so light that you don't need a big car or a truck to tow them. The most common small fiberglass trailer in our area is the Scamp, which are made in northern Minnesota. So when this past spring arrived, my husband started to look on Craigslist to see if we could find a used Scamp. They go really quick, they're pretty popular, and there's not a lot of them out there. So you basically have to be the first or second person that calls after one is listed in order to get it. My husband's a pretty lucky guy, so he ended up seeing a listing within about 30 minutes of it being posted on Craigslist. He texted the owner. We happened to be the first person to contact him, and we went and looked at it the next day. It was in really good condition, and we decided to scoop it up. We took it for a trial run in April just to figure out how to use it and what things we might need. And then we went for a Memorial Day weekend trip, and now we're here on the summer solstice on Lake Superior. So far, we really love it. It's been a lot of fun. This has been a little bit of a chilly week up here on Lake Superior. So we've had some cold mornings where we were able to make our coffee and tea in the Scamp, sit around with some blankets, and we had some friends join us, and so in the mornings they were just tent camping, so they would come over with their coffee and we'd hang out in the Scamp and warm up a little bit and have a little coffee time. So I thought I'd invite you into the Scamp. It's pretty tiny, but I'll give you a tour so you can see what's inside. Here's the inside of the Scamp. It's got a nice refrigerator and some cabinets where you can keep some things, a drawer for some utensils, 2-burner stove, little sink, a little window behind the stove, and a few more cabinets up top for us to keep some things in. Next to the stove and the sink is the bed. So this bed, I want to measure it somewhere between a twin and a full, and you can set it up as also a table. So a table pops up and the cushions are rearranged so that you have a little booth seating. But mostly we keep it as a bed because it's a lot of work to put it back and forth. And then some nice windows around the bed, lets the sun in the morning and the moon at night, and then another little cabinet up there on the top. Now I'm sitting on the bed and looking towards the front of the Scamp, another cabinet up top to store some things. And then this is a modification that the other owner made. Usually this is just a bench seat with a back that folds up to 2 really small bunk beds that would be for kids or a very small adult. And he cut out the bottom of the bench seat and made a modification where you could set up a table. So that's what we've been doing, which is really nice. And then I rotated on the bed and you can see the front door, and then there's a little bit bigger closet there that you can Keep some coats in if you want, or bedding, other storage. So small but mighty. That's the tour of our tiny travel trailer. I'll keep you posted on where we decide to take it during the rest of this year and the seasons to come. We're brainstorming about what kind of trips we want to take and maybe taking it a little bit further afield as time goes on. If you love camping, hiking, and exploring as much as we do, I hope that you have the opportunity to carve out some time this summer to get outside and enjoy nature.